Good afternoon. It's Friday afternoon. I am so excited for my weekend wind down with Nancy. And why I do this is one, to help me shut down on a Friday and start enjoying my weekend. But in addition, I do it to Hi, John. I do it to help everyone focus on a greater vision for themselves and for their business. Um, I'm hoping, every time I do these lives, I sit there and hope that they're going to work out properly. I am inviting Holly Van Hart. She is an abstract nature painter today. And hi, John. How's everyone? It's supposed to snow in New York this week, and I'm not happy about this. So I want to see if I can get Holly on, but she has to be watching first from her phone. So I'm hoping she read the instructions. I've been messaging her to see if she's ready, but I didn't get a response. Holly, I hope you're watching. Here we are. Here we go. Let's see if we can add her in. Here she comes, I hope.
Here
Hey,
we go,
there you
Nancy.
are. You know,
Of course I'm here.
Yay! Every time I do this, I was just telling the people who are watching, every time I do this, I pray a little bit beforehand to make sure. My first couple went so wrong. We still managed to pull them off.
Yeah, I was praying a little bit too.
And I was messaging you and you weren't answering, and I'm like, oh, I hope she's on. But I could see you were on. So I was just welcoming everyone
Great.
to Weekend Wind Down with Nancy. I'm Nancy Ganzelkoffer. For those of you who don't know me, I'm going to share on my business page while everyone starts to come on. And I'm so excited for this conversation today, because the Weekend Wind Down is really all about, conversations that focus on a greater vision for everyone's life and for their business. So I like to bring on inspiring people and talk about specific topics that can help people get to the next level in their life. And when we spoke, I couldn't believe how great of a candidate you were in the way you've lived your life and continue to live your life to sort of be an inspiration for everyone. So Holly Van Hart, you're abstract nature artist, right?
Yeah. Yes, and I'm happy to be here, Nancy. Thank you for inviting me.
I'm so happy for you to be here. So tell everyone, we want to talk about inspiring change and limitless possibilities. So why don't you give everyone a little background on what you do while I start to share on other pages?
Sure, great. So my name is Holly Van Hart, and I'm based in Silicon Valley in California. And I am a full-time professional artist. I paint abstracted nature paintings, and you can see maybe part of one of them behind me here. Yeah.
Beautiful.
And oh, thank you. So I've been painting full-time for about 5 years, but I've been doing art my whole life, and my art career is the chapter 2 in my life. So before this, I was in high tech for 20 years. I studied engineering, and then I was in the high tech game in Silicon Valley for 20 years.
Oh, wow.
I loved high tech. It was to me, and painting was my hobby, and I did it passionately. But I'd say in the last 5 or 7 years of my high tech career, just painting just was becoming this bigger and bigger part of me, to the extent that I said to myself, Holly, if you don't make the switch to do this full time, it's something that you will regret in your life. So once I realized that, then I knew I had to do it, and it was just a matter of planning it out and making the switch. So I did switch. So one day I was a high-tech sales operations director, and then the next day I was a full-time professional artist, and I just went in it full force, and have been just so happy with the change.
And how long ago did you make the leap of faith, so to speak?
That was 4.5 years ago.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So I've made a couple of changes in my life too. And it's scary, right? People are so afraid to make a change for fear of failure.
It is very scary. And, high tech is like a good career with a paycheck. Nobody moves to be a full-time artist for the money. But if you move to be a full-time artist, you still have to make, enough money to have it be your livelihood. So that was very scary,
Very scary.
for
And I mean,
sure.
in my life right before coaching, I was an art consultant. And I remember saying to one of the artists who was asking me before I was coaching, but I've always been coaching, which is why this was an easy transition for me. Um, am I painting to sell, or am I painting to like make a difference and be famous? Right. So how would you answer that question?
Ah, uh,
It's a tough one, right?
mostly I paint because I just love to paint, Nancy. I just love being in my studio and painting and trying new things. I'm experimenting all the time, and just yeah. So that's what I love. In order for me to do what I love, I need to make a business of
Yes.
it. So I have to invest the time to do, the marketing and sales and other things that need to be done in order to take my finished paintings and get them out into the world. So I really do have to do both if I want to put it all together into a life for me and not just a
Yeah, I
hobby.
think being an artist is one of the hardest professions, and it's a labor of love. And not all creatives, and I have a lot of interior designers who follow me because I coach a lot of interior designers as well. They really do struggle with the business side of it. So how did you get to the point where how long did it take you to make the decision, I should say, to finally follow your passion?
Yeah, it really took me years to make the decision because I was leaving a lot. And I had time in the evenings and the weekends, even though I'm married and I have two sons. I made the time to do my painting as a hobby. In fact, I always felt like I needed to do it just as like a little bit of an escape from the rest of my
Right.
responsibilities. So I did it, I made it happen as a hobby and I was happy to do that. But it did take some years to kind of plan it all out and be comfortable with making that
Yeah,
leap.
that was me definitely as I was raising my three kids. Running my business, starting Expressive Living Art Framing and Accessories was definitely my escape from um, what I couldn't control. Right? Right?
Yeah.
The things in the house that
Yeah.
I had to do, and sometimes you don't always enjoy doing them, but you feel privileged that you can. But at the same time, you needed
Mhm.
that mind break to rejuvenate, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep, it was
So how
critical.
did you fill
Yeah,
in the,
some people meditate,
yes,
some people run, I
I
paint.
used to run, but not anymore. Yeah, I had quite the schedule of working out in the morning and then coming home. I had my whole routine down and then getting to work. And then when the kids came home from school, I would jump into being a mommy. And then once in a while at night, I would go back, well, maybe all the time. At night, I would go back to working. And it's hard. It's juggling a lot. But I'm 52. I'll be 53 in a couple of weeks. And so many people say to me, like, how did you do it? Like, I recreated myself a couple of times. I was in the corporate banking world, then a stay-at-home mom for a limited amount of time because I had a sick kid, and then started selling my mother's paintings. That's how I got into art consulting. So my mother was an artist living in Vegas, and she called me one day and she said, I'm giving all my art away. And I'm like, why would you do that? Like, my son is good now. I'm ready to do something. And in between there, I went back to become a personal fitness trainer because I always had to do something for myself. And that's how I got into art. And then when I took the leap to coaching, everyone's like, how do you do that over and over again? And it is scary. I mean, it is scary every single time, right?
Totally.
Yeah,
Yep.
so it's kind of like thinking about it for a couple of years. That's what ends up happening. And
Yeah, yeah. So that is what happened, and for a bunch of years, while I was working full time, as my schedule permitted, I would participate in local exhibitions and art competitions, and so I was winning some prizes, and some people were buying my work. But it was all just kind of like random. If it happened, it happened. If it didn't, because I was busy doing high tech stuff, that's just how it was. But just doing that gave me enough feeling of momentum that I could make the leap.
So how did you market yourself in the beginning compared to how you market yourself now? And don't mind me while I sip my wine. It
Oh,
is later here, and it is weekend wine down.
yeah, please.
So if anyone who's watching,
Absolutely.
anyone who's watching,
Cheers.
cheers. Please share the broadcast if you feel like it's something that would be helpful to the people on your friends list. We're talking about, inspiring change and growing a business. And Holly, as an artist, I think is one of the hardest businesses to grow. So I can't wait to hear, how you market yourself and how you went from the beginning to where you are now.
Yeah, oh, great. Thank you. So, in the beginning, I knew that an email list was important and to find the people who liked my work enough to want to get some emails from me when I had new paintings to share or stories, inspirations, exhibit news, that kind of
Right.
thing. So, I did from the very beginning worked really hard to build my email list.
How
And
did you build your email list? Because I teach my coaching
uh,
clients and I do have artists as clients, I'm sorry, and interior designers and other coaches and industry partners to the interior design industry. And how did you build it?
Yeah, so I did a few things. So one is anybody who I met in person who expressed an interest in my art, I would ask them if they were interested. And I didn't put that pressure on. I said, if you're interested, great. If you're not, no
Right.
worries. Because I'm meeting them in person, I'm not going to just um, be selling the whole time. So if they were interested in my art, they said yes. So then I added them to my list. Also, about once a year, I've been publishing a book, self-publishing a
Oh,
book that then I will offer on my website, and people can, get a free ebook from me by signing up to my email list. So I've been doing that too, and so that's another
I like
avenue.
that. I like that a
Um,
lot. People
yeah,
like, so you're
yeah,
self-publishing on like Amazon and you're putting it through
yes, yep,
Amazon? Okay.
yep. Yep, through Amazon, and the books are also available on my website, so people can go there and sign up and get a free ebook. My latest one is called Nature's Inspirations,
Oh,
where I paired 25 of my paintings with some favorite inspirational quotes from everyone from Thomas Edison to Eleanor Roosevelt to Beyonce. So try to mix it up a
what a
bit.
great idea, Holly.
Yeah.
How long does it take you to, do you just put it together throughout the year and then just kind of
Uh,
upload it and do it that way?
uh, Good, good question. I would say I do it in a much more concentrated period, maybe in about a month. So put a lot of hours in about a month's time to put the content together.
Okay.
So
Okay. So meeting
yeah.
people in person to grow your email list, meeting people in person, asking them in a non-salesy way, because that's what I'm always trying to teach people. Like, you could just say what you do. And if someone has an interest, you can definitely just start a conversation with them, tell them what you do. And if they're interested, they'll continue the conversation with you, right? And if you're interesting enough,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so
Absolutely.
ask them if they
Yeah.
want to be a part of your email list so that they get the latest works, your latest paintings.
Yep.
Okay, and then the ebook.
And the ebook, so that has helped. And sometimes I've met people on Facebook, and if we message back and forth, if they seem interested, I'll invite them as well. Um, so that's mostly how I've gone about building the email
Okay.
list. And when I first started, Facebook was really big, but it's a much bigger um, force
Yes, it
in
is.
all of our lives. In the beginning, I didn't do too much on Facebook. It was mostly just posting family stuff and keeping in touch with friends. But now I do post very regularly, still family stuff to keep up with friends, but also uh, uh, images of exhibitions and new paintings and paintings in progress and videos. So I try to keep it interesting, mix it up. So anyone who's interested in like a peek into an artist's life, if they go to my page, they'll get a lot of that. So my Facebook page and also on Instagram.
Okay, we want to
So
definitely talk
I
about Instagram. Caden's asking, do you have a lead magnet? So yeah, Caden, we were just talking that it's your free yearly ebook,
it's
right?
That's right. It's my free ebook. The current one is called Nature's Inspiration. So definitely, and that
Tell
helps.
them your
Yep.
website so as people are listening.
So my website is my name, which is Holly, Holly, Van Hart, VANHART.com. So it's all one word,
And you
hollyvanhart.com.
come out with a new one every single year. And then how do you
Yeah,
promote
I
that? I
have.
mean, that's an
Yeah.
incredible undertaking to me. A lot of people that they would crush under that pressure of trying to create something new every year. But I think it is important. I have a couple of different lead magnets. If someone's struggling with their time management, I have my time analysis. If they're struggling with networking and creating like their elevator speech, I have your business in words. Those are my free lead magnets. But you have to do that on a consistent basis, right? To change it up.
Yes, to keep it fresh so people have a reason to keep coming back.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So it is pressure, but I don't make the books too long. The latest one was the longest, but it was mostly image based. So it was different. The others were more text based with some images. So I don't make them too long, but I work really hard to create good content that is meaningful, and that's my best effort for anyone who wants to sign up and takes the time to download the book and
And
read
where do
it.
you put that lead magnet out? Do you put it out when you first create it? Like,
Ah,
where do you put it to get new people on your list?
yes. So I put it on Facebook, I put it on Instagram, and then recently what I've been doing too is when you open up my book, you'll see an image of my Nature's Inspirations book, an image of my painting, and that's paired with a quote. So recently I've also been putting the quotes online, as a Facebook post or Instagram post, and then I say, this is one page from my book. If you want to see the whole thing, you can go here.
Love it.
And it's
I
free.
love it. And do you
Yeah.
go into groups and post that where you're allowed to post?
I haven't. That's one thing that you're great at, Nancy, that I need to get good at. I haven't done that at all. So I need to understand how groups work better so I
You
can
know
do
what?
that
I
too.
told this story in my private group, Actionable Entrepreneurs, today that I went into my local one-tour. Well, actually, my boyfriend did one-tour mamas and put in that we're looking for a real estate attorney. And like four or five, I think four people actually commented and gave names of real estate attorneys. So what did I naturally do? I clicked on their names. I looked to see what they did and was I friends with them already? Maybe I know them. Maybe we know mutual people. It was just natural for me to like, oh, they helped me. Let me see who they are. And one of them was a makeup artist, and I don't know her name at the moment. And I thought, oh, I didn't like right here in Wantor, there's a makeup artist. Like if I ever know anybody who, my niece is a makeup artist, right? So I was like, oh, very interested in that. And I saved it because I thought if I ever need a makeup artist, like someone to come to the house, because sometimes I have to do branding stuff, it was good to know her. So my point of telling you that story is if you just go into groups and just help people completely unrelated to what you did. I did check out your Facebook page and you do have that you're an artist and you did a Facebook Live yesterday about your latest ornaments that you're giving away, which was
Mhm.
incredible. And but if you just give in groups, right? Local groups in your case, you can actually ship anywhere probably, right? So you can actually so
Yeah,
you can go in
all over the
all over
world.
the world. So you can go into groups and actually just be giving and be sharing of information and how you do things. And people will naturally sometimes look you up, see what you do, and then check you out, right? So it
Mm.
doesn't have to
Yeah.
be a blatant, marketing. It just has to be being
Hmm.
present and being giving. So, I
Yeah.
try to teach my clients that and in my group, Actionable Entrepreneurs, like just socialize. Facebook is for socializing, giving interesting content. So, and I did love your Facebook Live from yesterday, I think it was.
Oh, oh, thank you. Hope you entered the
I didn't
contest.
yet. I just looked at it about a half an hour ago, and I thought I got to get all set up. But
Yeah.
these creative marketing techniques, they make you nervous sometimes, right? Like, you're like, should I do this?
Yeah, Facebook Live, when I first started it, and really almost every time feels a little bit weird, you know, but at the same time, like, oh, how great to be able to talk with folks live in a way that I never would be able to otherwise. So you kind of, yeah, it's strange at first, but then you get used to it, and then it can be kind
It
of
is,
fun.
and you know what? I like doing it conversation style. In my group, I'll just do a lesson or I'll give an update on my life or something I'm working on. I try to teach people, but doing it like this is so rewarding. I'm so glad that Facebook added this option to our repertoire. And they're coming out with new stuff all the time. But I think the last Facebook weekend wind down I did, we got over 500 and something views. So, people don't
Awesome.
always come on live at this hour because they're not available. And obviously, if people share, like right now, hit share, it goes
Hmm.
on to their Facebook pages and more people are reached and we can impact more people's lives. So, but one thing I noticed on your Facebook Live yesterday is you had the captions. I've been trying
Yes.
to figure that out for about 3 weeks. I can't figure out how anybody does that. How did you do that?
Oh man. Somehow I go into in Facebook after you finish the live, you go into something like edit video. I don't remember the exact command, and then it will say there are like 3 or 4 tabs. The second tab, it says add captions or generate captions, and I hit generate, and it generates the captions. It gets about 80 to 90%
Oh, so you still
correct,
have to go in?
and yes, yes, and it gets all my ums and ahs, which I really hate, so I edit those out. Yeah, but I do that, and I feel that that's helpful because some people will watch a Facebook Live, but they really are not in a position to listen
Yes.
if there are other people around.
Yes.
So
Well, I
yeah, I
think
like
the
to do that.
larger part of Facebook is being watched from people's phones. So, yeah, sometimes they're in a crowd and having that caption is a really, really good idea. So, I definitely have to try that. Have you gotten any impact from family and friends when you left your, corporate type job?
Ah, um, I think a lot of people were wondering, like, well, what was I doing? And was I just this little hobbyist that was going to, try to set out to climb this massive mountain?
It
And
is massive.
it is really massive. But I'm tenacious and I was determined and I work very hard and I was also lucky. So just a few months after I left high tech, I entered this California statewide painting
Oh,
competition. And on the last day, I got my act together and submitted the images for the competition. And then a couple months later, they had a reception. So I showed up at the reception, and the receptionist said it was a reception for all the artists. So hundreds of people were attending, and the receptionist said, "Oh, Holly, glad you're here. You're going to be very happy soon." And I said, "Well, what do you mean?" She said, "Well, go inside and take a look." So I walked inside to the exhibit room and looked at my painting, and it had won the grand
oh my
prize for
God.
the competition.
Yay.
So that was just a few months after I had made the switch. So I felt really validated
Yes.
that that was the right decision, and then that really helped me build, on that. It gave me some credibility early on, and helped me to build on
I
that.
love that. Okay, so how much live networking do you do? Because I'm the past president of the Long Island chapter of the Interior Design Society, and we have.
You just won an
Yes, I
award,
did, along
right?
with so many other people, leaders from that chapter. It was such a great night last night. But now I'm becoming president of the virtual chapter. So, question number one, like, how much local networking do you do? Because I
Mm.
know artists who are literally out every single night, going to everything they can possibly go to try to get in front of interior designers. Like, have you ever pursued interior designers?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So I work with some interior designers and I love working with interior designers. So if anybody's listening who's a designer, wants to check out hollyvanhart.com, and if you like my stuff, I'd love to work with you, anywhere in the world and especially in the US. So I work with some interior designers. I love that. And yes, I've gone to probably maybe five or so interior design events, maybe 5 or 10 in the last year or
Okay.
two. And that's great. So I've met some new designers that way. Um, yeah, I should probably step up the rate of that I do the interior design networking.
Well, I'm
Um,
curious how much
I
you really
also,
get from the interior design. Like,
uh,
where's most of your business come from?
yeah, so I sell direct. So I hold open studio events twice a year. I just had one last weekend. Um, I sell through galleries. There are, I think, 5 galleries in the US that show my
Oh, that's
work.
very good.
And yeah, and I also have a show coming up in my first international show in Taiwan in May. So I'm really
And
excited
how
about
did you make
that.
those connections?
It was through approaching a gallery. So there's this gallery in Beverly Hills that I approached and I said, "Are you interested?" And then they replied after a while and said, "Yes, we would like you to do a solo show here, which I'm going to do in starting in March of next year. So we'd like you to do a solo show in Beverly Hills. Plus, we also own galleries in Taiwan and China, and we'd like to invite you to participate in our exhibit in Taipei in May." So
Have you
I
ever been
was
there?
thrilled. No, no. And so I might go, but I might not. So the gallery is going to be there to
Oh,
represent my
good.
art. So it's optional whether I
Okay.
go. And yeah, so lucky me, I actually have another exhibit going on at the exact same weekend. So I have to make a
See, it
choice.
really shows you that there's limitless possibilities, which is what we're talking
Yes,
about. So it's
it is.
you're marketing to interior designers, you're marketing to galleries, you're marketing directly to the public. Do you ever find that's a conflict for the interior designers that people can find you direct and their clients could bypass them? Because I know we have a big thing in that industry about, the interior designers, of course, don't want to be
Yeah.
bypassed. So, like, how do you handle that?
Yeah, that's great. And it's the same thing with galleries.
Yes.
So it's the identical thing. So if somebody new contacts me who I've never met before, I'll ask them, how did you find me? And if it's, it actually hasn't happened yet, but if they say it's through this gallery or if it's through this interior designer, I will then say, okay, well, let's plug them into this discussion. So, I totally respect that those relationships
Important.
and we'll do that. Yeah. I want to work through interior designers. I don't want to shut doors.
Yes.
So I want to keep them open. So I'm very happy to do that because it's goodness for all of us.
And do you handle, well, I have so many questions. Do you ever go after art consultants?
Yes. Yes, art consultants too.
Okay.
Yes, so some art consultants have shown and sold my work as well. So I like working with art
So how do you
consultants.
do all the marketing and do the painting and be everywhere you have to be?
Well, it's a good thing I like what I do because I spend a lot of hours doing it. Um, so I work really hard. So most weekdays I'm in my studio painting for most of the day, and then my children are now 13 and 15. They really don't need their mom very much anymore. But when they come home from school and when they're doing their homework, then I say I'm doing my homework, which means I'm on my computer emailing galleries or designers or doing Facebook posts or whatever. And then again at night doing that stuff. So um, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of hours. So it is a good thing that I like
It
it.
is a good thing that you like it. But you know what I am finding, and I'm sure a lot of people would agree with me, the really successful entrepreneurs, anyone who says, I love these lifestyle coaches. I'm a coach, but I'm not a lifestyle coach. You know what? You got to work hard. If you own a business and you want to take it to that next level, you have to work hard and you have to find hours that really don't exist by giving up other things that you did in
Yeah.
the past.
And yeah. and to focus on the things that count the most. So that's tricky too, because you can, there are endless things that you can do, all day long and all night long, but which ones are really going to work for you? That's a tricky
It is tricky, yeah, because
question.
I always say to everyone, try, if you're going to do Facebook Lives, give it 6 months, right? And learn all the tricks you can learn and watch the people who are doing it and watch what they're doing. Like I asked you, how did you put the captions on? Like you learn from other people,
Hmm.
and then you implement a marketing plan, and you give it 6 months before you bail on it, because you definitely don't want to
Hmm.
bail on it too soon. But it sounds like you are connecting on a regular basis with galleries, with art consultants, with interior designers, but you are spending a lot of time home painting, right? Because that's right.
Yes.
That's what everyone, and you're getting your work out there through these books, these free ebooks on your
Hmm.
website. Um,
Yep.
did you ever hire or take a course on Facebook marketing or Instagram marketing, or hire a coach or anything like that when you first started out?
I hired a coach more
Mm-hmm.
recently. So it's an art
Mm-hmm.
coach that somebody amazing who helps artists get to the next level of their career. So I did that. I've read a lot about Facebook and Instagram marketing, and I've purchased some tools here and there, but I have not hired a coach yet for that.
You're doing really well. And yes, Joe. Joe is the one who taught me. You should actually be on his site called Design Wall. I don't know if you got to watch any of my previous
Okay.
Design Wall with a Z. Joe is the CEO and the
Okay.
creator of that. And as an artist, being on Design Wall, you could reach. He's growing it to reach the world, really, and designers from it's
Cool.
so it's no charge. So, but yeah,
Sure.
Joe.
We'll
Yeah,
do
you
that.
definitely should be on there, Holly. I have yet to get on there. I want to put on these weekend wind downs and my blogs and things, and I haven't. That's one thing I haven't gotten to yet, Joe, but I will. But yeah, Joe, Holly did a Facebook Live on her business page, or is it on your personal page?
I share it to the personal, but it's on my business
Okay,
page.
and
Yeah.
she was able to go into settings, and actually, you were one of two people I saw today that had these new captions. So think it's fairly
Uh,
recent that they got that better, like they perfected that.
yes. And I think their rollouts aren't always consistent globally. So it's possible that some of us have some features and some of us
That's
don't.
absolutely
So
true.
that's another reality of
Right,
Facebook.
right. Yeah, Joe's telling you that he has 170,000 subscribers. Is that your design? Is that your
Wow.
design wall subscribers now, Joe? Talk about working hard. This man works hard. He's on every Facebook Live. He does his own design talk. You got to follow him. And
I
yeah,
will.
he'll teach you how to reach the world. That's for sure. So yeah, I think that's 170,000 subscribers to Design Wall. So that's definitely a great
Wow.
resource for you. Add that to your pile of things that you
Absolutely.
want to do. How is your business
Absolutely.
page categorized? Do you know how your business page is categorized?
I don't
Let's
actually.
see if I can figure that out. Yeah, because there's so many different ways you can post on your business page. I don't know. We can look after Joe and take a
Yeah, let's
look.
do that.
But I'm very impressed with the way you are everywhere. And you know what? You take opportunities that you see, and you fit them into your day.
Yes, there are times when, making art is the priority, and there are times when, being on Facebook is a priority. So, I just need to make the switch and, make it happen and not just get lost in the studio like I might like to.
Yeah, I mean, I see such a mix. And some people spend too much time doing the marketing and not enough time creating and content creating, and other people are heavy and they don't know why their business keeps going up and down, and it's because their marketing is not consistent,
Ah,
right?
yes,
So you
yes.
you seem to be starting a program of consistent marketing. So if you were to say split your time, what do you spend marketing versus painting and creating?
You know, It's so hard to answer that question, and it's hard because sometimes I'll do mostly painting for maybe weeks in a row, and uh, then uh, then I do more of a blend of painting and marketing. So it's so hard to say, Nancy. I don't know if it's 25% marketing, could be more. It depends. Um, yeah, it depends.
Yeah, you know what? You got to go with your creative flow sometimes,
Yeah.
right? Some
Yep.
weeks, if you don't feel like painting as much, you go, okay, let me go and dive into the business side.
Yeah, and sometimes you just need the focus, all on one or all on the other,
Hmm.
because marketing is not easy. It's not like, oh, it's just this little afterthought. I'll, crank out an
It's
email,
not
you
easy.
know.
And blocking your time is, I always say, is the most effective for me. Send all my emails that I need
Yes.
to send that have been on my mind all at once before I let myself walk away. Do all my
Mm-hmm.
Facebooking in one slot and then turn it off. Then go and do my
Yep.
product creation. And obviously, I'm with clients all the time virtually because I also coach all
Mm-hmm.
over the United States. And we actually have clients now in Australia and New Zealand and the UK, which I have coaching clients
So,
from all over, which is the beauty of the internet. So we have to really take advantage of those things.
yeah.
Yeah, Joe is saying broadcasting companies. Let me see. Hold on, Joe. I missed your. If you are a celebrity or a broadcasting company and verified, Facebook gives you special features. Well, we got to look into that then. But I'm not a celebrity.
Maybe one day I'll be a
That's right.
celebrity.
I'm a celebrity in my own world, but I'm not sure I'm a
Yeah.
celebrity in anyone else's world. We're working on that. We're working
Ditto.
on that status, Joe. Did you share? Sharing is caring, Joe, because we're working on that celebrity status. Um, oh, do you see? Can you see the comments?
Keep rocking it. Yes, thank you. Is that
No,
Joe?
that's
Thank you.
Chris LaRussell. Do
Ah,
you know
okay.
him?
Thank you, Chris. Awesome. I'm
Do you know him
sorry. I know his
or her? It
name.
could be a her. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. I know Chris's name.
So one of the best ways to continue to grow, Holly, because I love you. I think that you're such an inspiration to going after something you've always wanted to do and not doing it just as a side gig, right? You're totally going after it as a full-time job. You definitely want to grow your personal Facebook page, which a lot of people are afraid to do because they do mix their kids and their personal life. And you know what? But you are your brand now, right?
Hmm.
So you want to really grow your
Yeah.
friends list because growing your friends list is an extension of your business. And personal pages are getting such a greater interaction than business pages.
Yeah. So, I've been working on my personal profile and I'm almost at the limit of 5,000 friends, and then I don't know what to do
Oh, so no, that's
anymore.
good. That's
So
me.
I haven't figured
That's
that out.
actually good. Then I'm thinking of the wrong page because I thought I saw, maybe I was looking at your business page. So I'm also almost at my limit. And what happens is after that, when you reach 5,000, when they friend request you, hi, Daniel. They automatically they follow you instead. Like if
Okay.
you're over your friends limit, it's an automatic follow.
Yeah.
And I'm almost
Okay.
there as well, so I'll let you know what happens if whoever gets there first.
Yeah, please
I
do.
want to keep room because I do these weekend wind downs and I have to be friends with the
Yeah.
person in order to do it.
Yes.
So
Right.
if I find someone new like you and I want to do it, and last week also, I want to make sure I can friend them so that I can do this. Create multiple. He's such, you know what? Create multiple profiles. You've always got the back door.
Maybe you have a split personality.
He's always got the back door. But what was the hardest part for you? Like if somebody's out there thinking about jumping to a new direction in life, like I'm getting on the verge of moving from the home I raised my kids in, and it's like, oh, it's so hard.
Yeah.
Um, and when I started coaching and when I started expressive living and when I was a personal trainer from being a corporate world, I've made so many leaps. And I know what the hardest part was for me. What is the hardest part for you?
Ah. I would just say it's, jumping into the unknown, that was the hardest part from a steady paycheck to who knows what.
Yes.
Yeah, I would say that was the hardest, most unpredictable part. Um, yeah. And it's still kind of, unpredictable, and it's not like you get a paycheck every other week. It's, there are busy seasons and there are quiet seasons, and so you just have to kind of know that and plan around that.
Yeah, I think the hardest part of being a solopreneur is being able to get through those moments, those months where it's a little slower and you're like, okay, I should be focusing on the marketing,
Right.
or I should be creating something new, and being out there alone.
Mhm.
That's why I do love Facebook for that, right? Because you're really never alone. That's why I have that group. So in Actionable Entrepreneurs, I hope I keep everyone company and they keep each other company to make sure they're taking
Yep.
action every day, because it's so easy to just go, I don't feel like working today.
I love that group, Nancy. It's
Thank
awesome.
you. It's just that, sometimes you wake up, and I think yesterday or the day before I did a Facebook Live, it's like, if you wake up in a funk, what do you do? Um, right?
Yeah.
Because everyone's different. You got to
Yeah.
get your energy up. And I think one person said they play music, and for you, you paint.
Yeah, I did a blog post on this because some people say, well, what if you're not inspired? Then what do you do? And so this is what I do. So there's a famous American artist, you probably know him by the name of Chuck
Mm-hmm.
Close. And what he says is inspiration is for amateurs. The rest of us just show up and get to work. That's what he says. So
Beautifully
with Chuck
said.
Close in mind, yeah, most every day I'm totally inspired. I can't wait to get to the studio and start painting. There are some days when that's not true. And then I think of Chuck Close and I think, okay, just go anyway. So I show up, get my painting clothes on, get out the paints, and I start. And then everything's great. Like within 2 minutes, I'm back to being inspired again. So it's really a matter of showing up.
Hey, Liza. Yeah, I mean, it really is. It's about taking action every day, whether you feel like it or not. Whether you feel like it or not.
Yes.
And when you let yourself off the hook and you don't take the action, that's on a regular basis. If you do that, that's when you just start seeing the dip in your business, the dip in your inspiration, the why am I doing this? The doubt starts flooding in. It just,
Yep.
you know what? Keep yourself busy, right? You have that list of
Yep.
things you should be doing. That's what you need to look to when you're starting to feel a little like, am I in the right space? What should I be doing today? Look to that list and take action every day.
Yeah, absolutely. Because there are some days you look at that list and you think, oh, I really should be X, and you just don't feel like doing X. Like, okay, well, I'm not going to do that, but I'll at least do
Yes.
Y. So at least you get something ticked off the list,
And you've never outsourced anything. You've never outsourced your marketing. And now you just said you're blogging too. So you're doing email marketing to your list. How often do you
Yeah,
send to your list?
every couple of
Okay.
weeks, every 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're doing an ebook. So
Yeah.
that's a new lead
Hmm.
gen every year. You're
Yep.
reaching out to galleries. You're reaching out to art consultants. You're reaching out to interior designers. You're doing Facebook
Hmm.
Lives. You're blogging. I am so impressed.
Wow. Well, now that you say it like
Wait a
that,
minute. And you're
Nancy.
doing Instagram too. And your friends list is almost to 5,000. Everyone who's listening, take an inspiration from Holly here. Like, it is anything else? Please don't tell me you're Snapchatting.
No, I never used Snapchat in my
Okay.
life, so
And the best,
leave that to my sons.
oh, and of course you're painting. That's that's your product, right? Your product. And now you're giving away
Yeah,
Christmas ornaments on your website, on your Facebook Live, on your
yeah,
Facebook page.
yeah.
What gave
Hmm.
you the inspiration to do that?
The ornaments, so that was just, I was in my studio, I was experimenting around. I had these little round circles that I could paint on, and I didn't know what I was going to do with them. So I just started painting on them. And then I said, well, what am I going to do with them? And Christmas season came. I said, oh, I'm going to make them into ornaments. So I did, and I hung them on my tree. I wasn't thinking of selling them or anything. I just hung them on our family Christmas tree. And then I thought, oh, maybe one of my friends out there in Facebook land would enjoy one too. So I did a Facebook Live and showed a sample of a few of the ornaments. And for anybody who comments and likes the post and my page, I'm going to do a drawing and give away an ornament, which is actually two paintings strung together on a ribbon that can hang on a Christmas tree, or if you don't have a tree, hang on a window or something else.
This is the way you do it, people. This is the way you do it. Do something different than everyone else is doing, or if you see someone doing it in a different circle, do that. And that's how you're going to grow your following.
Yeah. Yep, you copy wherever you can, and then make it your own, make it your own.
I mean, that's why when Joe started doing these, and then I said, how do you do these? And he does it a little different than I do it. I have a steady guest once a week, and he has more like a talk show format, which extends his reach even more. It's a great format. But then I decided, so many people should be doing this in order to grow their following. So I did a free PDF on how do you do a Facebook Live from your phone.
Yes, thank you for that.
You're
it's
welcome.
Awesome.
Now I send it to all my guests to make sure that they know how to get on. But you know what? Again,
I reread it this morning.
Okay, good. I put it in my group because they're all business owners and they're looking to extend their reach, and I want to make sure that they have every tool in their arsenal to do that. So, so tell everyone once again how they can find you, and tell them about your holiday giveaway again.
Thank you, Nancy. So my website is my name, hollyvanhart.com, HOLLYVANHART.com. And if you go to my Facebook page, which is also my name, Holly Van Hart, you'll find a Facebook Live from yesterday that is a giveaway for 2 mini paintings made into a Christmas ornament. And all you need to do is like the page and then like and comment on the post, so that way I can register you into the drawing for the 2 mini paintings.
Awesome. Holly, thank you so much for being here. Again, for anyone who's listening on the replay, I'm Nancy Ganzikoffer. I'm a business coach, helping creative entrepreneurs and business coaches get their businesses to the next level. And if you missed the weekend wind downs, you can also find them on YouTube under my YouTube channel, Nancy Ganzikoffer, and the audio portion, which I was so proud I heard this somewhere and I actually did it. I put it up on Podbean. So if you can't watch us talk and you could just listen, it's now in its raw form, just like this, up on Podbean. And again, you can look up Nancy Ganzikoffer. I won't spell it. You can just look. So have a great weekend, Holly. I so appreciate you being here for Weekend Wind Down, and I look forward to seeing how you continue to grow your art business. It's really, really impressive.
Thank you, Nancy, and thank you so much for having me today. Awesome to talk with you.
Thank you.
Have a great weekend.
Everyone, have a great weekend. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.
Bye-bye.